All right, YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. We are here for that yin and yang, my dudes. Y'all thought it wasn't gonna happen? It's happening. I'm so glad you guys are all here to join me, man. It's real easy for people not to do anything during these what some people would say is a hard time. But for your boy Jody Joe, that shit don't exist. The show must go on. That's just what we are about. I am Jody Joe. In case you guys didn't know, this is number 10 of Yin and Yang. It's been 10 of these things, and my PRC, Andy, is with me, bro. Shout out to Andy, bro. Welcome.
What up, man? As you said, the show must go on. I'm not in studio, but I'm still here. So happy to always be here, my man.
Appreciate you, bro. So yeah, let's. You guys know what Yin and Yang is about. This is all about the debate. It's all about the what you see from Andy or myself as the argument we put up, not actually if you agree on the topic or not. And we got some doozies tonight, or this afternoon. We got some doozies. But let me say what's up to the people in the chat, man. I got Midnight in the chat, Tyrese Patterson, Tyreek Lewis. What's up, bro? Uso in the building. John Singleton, FFC. That's all the members I see for sure. And moderators, shout out to all y'all, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much for being here. So we got to go talk about the winner of last week's episode of Yin and Yang number 9, which was kind of weird because the CV coronavirus stuff broke and it kind of disrupted our stream. But we still, with Andy's suggestion, I'm glad you suggested it. We continued on and we did a couple of topics. So there was only 2 rounds to vote for, and there was a lot of ties. But overall, in episode 9 is going to go to you, Andy, man. Shout out to Andy. You got that episode, bro. You got it, bro. Yeah, freak you. For sure. Back to backs, huh? Okay, that's how we doing it. For sure. I thought that I could have. It was tough. You got that clean sweep on one of the votes. So a lot of them were just bam, bam, bam. But then you got that double on the last part. So
which one was that? Was the Superman Batman Returns?
It was Superman 2, Batman Returns, and what was the other one that we did? It was another one, but that Superman Batman Returns. I'm surprised that you got both of those. Shout out to Creed Nation. He says, "I'm in the house, brothers. Welcome. Even though in the house, I think Creed Nation. I don't know where he's coming from, but he's supposed to go to UK. But we know what's up with that. E is in the building. What's up to my dude E? We gonna see you guys Friday for a great live stream. Tomorrow I'll be on Andy's channel. We're gonna do Change My Mind over there, right? So we're gonna be doing Change My Mind.
I can't do the Nerd Wars I typically do. Yep.
Okay.
Change Our Mind, it's now called. Change Our Minds.
Change Our Minds. That's what's going to be tomorrow at, do we have a time?
At night, probably. I'll lock it up. We'll lock it up soon.
I know it'll be in the evening. He's PC as PST now for the most part. But welcome everybody. Let's go ahead and get right into the shit. So, you ready to get this popping, Andy, or anything you want to say? Anything on your head before we start?
I'm good. Let's get to the fun, man. Everyone's talking about doom and gloom. Let's have some fun.
Exactly. Topics, pop culture, let it lead the way. So let's go ahead and get into it. And the first one is Revenge of the Sith is the best prequel film. That is the statement. Revenge of the Sith is the best prequel film. Naturally, if this is a disagreement,
that's stupid.
That's yin.
That's stupid. That's totally stupid.
You feel some type of way?
But I could go both. I think I would probably
so you disagree?
Pick Phantom Menace. I would pick Phantom Menace, but I see why people like Revenge of the Sith.
I'm definitely willing to defend Revenge of the Sith, bro.
It's up to you, man. I could go either way. If you want to see me go against the grain, I'm happy to go there.
What's against the grain, though? I would think episode 1 might be against the grain.
You know what? Fine. I'm all in it. Let's do it. I'll do 1. You do 3.
For sure. Boom. So you riding for episode 1. I'm gonna go ahead and go for episode 3. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hit this thing first. I need 10 minutes on my clock though in order to hit this. There it is. Thank you very much. So yeah, Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith is the greatest film of probably my second greatest Star Wars film. Period. Let alone the prequels. It's the best one of the prequels, hands down. I got this probably as my second greatest Star Wars film, right after Empire Strikes Back. Empire Episode 3, maybe Episode A New Hope up in there. Well, but Empire Strikes Back is the top king. But when it comes to the prequels, Episode 3 is The Empire Strikes Back. You have the final conversion of Anakin Skywalker turning to the dark side. You got Sidious all decrepit and foul with his amazing quotes. This is the film that made Emperor Sidious iconic. We saw him in little scenes here and there. He was talked about in the original trilogy, but it wasn't until this film that he finally embodied what a true villain was. And we got to see dialogue from the man. We got those riveting scenes from him. We saw the love triangle from between Padme, and you had him and Obi-Wan and Anakin. We saw all that unravel. We saw everything crumble to the ground, and probably one of the most epic moments, the most epic moment in Star Wars narrative on film, Order 66. We saw that executed. It had a lot of heart, had a lot of emotion. It did have some problems here and there, just like every Star Wars movie does. But episode 3, hands down, was the best. Simple for its epic scale, and probably the best lightsaber battle we have ever seen on screen.
Yeah. No! It's my first reply to you. Because, look, I understand why people like it, because it's like sort of like, all right, which one of these turds smells the least is sort of what we're arguing, I feel like, in this argument. But you know what? Am I allowed to go outside the box on this? Because you said, what's the best Star Wars prequel? Rogue One is the best Star Wars prequel.
We're talking about the prequel. That don't count. and it's not. And it's not.
Technically, it's before the.
Even if you count it, that shit gets wrecked.
All right, but I'll stay in the rules. But technically, I won because remember that it's not the best prequel.
Episode 3 is better than Rogue One.
Episode 3 is not the best because we could argue Rogue One absolutely is. But I'll also argue that Phantom Menace is. So both of them are better, and they're both prequels. But Phantom Menace is better because, I mean, it's just Darth Maul. Darth Maul all the way was fantastic. The Duel of the Fates, that scene was like the best scene we got in a Star Wars movie, I feel like. It was like watching young Obi-Wan, to me, was more interesting in there, and his sort of struggle with losing him. And then the shift of where I wanted to go, I never really bought everyone focuses on the transition of Anakin, but Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship, I felt like, was never as strong as it needed to be. Will McGregor's trying his best, but Hayden Christensen is one of the worst actors in that movie ever. And I think that's,
I think he gets a hard rap. I think they give him a bad rap.
He's a better actor than that movie gives him credit to because of George Lucas, who's a terrible writer-director. On blinds and directing actors, he's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. And so that was the problem. You're building up this like immensely important, iconic origin to the most, feared villain in cinema, one of them, as we argued, which you were wrong. But then you go back and we learn him and he's just a petulant child who's just, you kind of like, ugh, you know what? Yeah, please turn to Vader. You're a jerk.
He's in episode 1 too, though. He's in your film that you're defending right now.
I like Jake Lloyd actually better because he's actually a child. That's where it actually makes sense. Once we grow up and see him as a man by part 3, might as well just continue to be Jake Lloyd because he's acting the same way.
I disagree. Seeing that boy in episode 1 made me want him to hurry up and grow up fast. And grow up fast he did. That's why he jumped up 10 years in episode 2. Because that boy, it felt like the pod racing was okay. But the pod racing, and that's why episode 1 just can't be better than episode 3, it was because, it made it a little bit too kiddie, in my opinion. The first hour of the movie was about a young boy pod racing, slavery and stuff. I'm like, is this supposed to be Darth Vader or not? There was questions where I was like, is he supposed to be the Anakin Skywalker that turns into Darth Vader? That movie was more about Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi than it was Darth Vader. And that's why episode 3 is awesome, because Anakin dominated in that movie.
Yeah, look, the pod racing is more exciting. It is a great scene, as you admitted. The final act between Obi-Wan and why am I blanking on Liam Neeson? Qui-Gon and Darth Maul is fantastically done with John Williams' score. I think the build-up of episode 1's better. The reason episode 3, I feel like I could see why everyone likes episode 3.
There's so much epic in it. It's too much epic in there.
Because it delivers what everyone was just waiting for, which was the moment like, all right, him turning into Vader, and this is what. But I don't. 2 to me is a complete waste.
Yeah, that's washed.
The complete nothing happens. There's no necessary. It's really 1 and 3, and I agree. It's the age difference sucks in 1. All these movies have problems. Let's be honest. 3 works just because you're like, all right, finally we got what we want. But where I'm fighting you on, and I'm fighting everyone who's against me because everyone's telling me to take the L. But no, you never just give in.
That's right.
I'm fighting with you because
hold that shit.
I think we're also looking at the prequels now with like rose-colored glasses, and because the sequel trilogy was so terrible, they're all bad. Let's be honest. But that Revenge of the Sith, I don't buy it. I don't buy why he turned into Vader. I don't buy the turn. The only moment I bought where I was actually emotionally connected was when Jake Lloyd, as a child, is leaving his mother at that scene where he's like, "I want it," and you realize and the girl, the mom, I forget her name, who plays the mom. It's actually pretty emotionally. I watched all of them recently. It's pretty much more emotionally charged than I remember it being. There's actually some stuff there that I think is unfair that people give it. So then, at the only part of the movie is like even in 2 where it's like, all right, his mom's being, taken by the Tusken Raiders, etc. There's something to feel for him, but his relationship with Padme is obsessive. It's creepy, and then by the end, when Obi-Wan shows up and then he thinks he's cheating on him, it's like you just realize this guy is the ultimate simp.
Yeah, he is simp. He is simp.
He's a total simp, and you're like, why? This is Vader.
Some
Vader's
of the best villains are though, bro. So was Thanos.
It completely ruins the eyes of him. I'm just like,
Thanos is a simp too.
But I feel like Thanos. What's his name from Black Panther? All these villains, like you feel for why the best villains. You feel for them in a way. You're like, well, damn, they might have a point. Like I feel bad. I never felt bad for Vader once as Anakin, not once. That's a terrible thing through 3 movies and its finale.
But that doesn't tarnish the film. You have a problem with the character, and I'll give you that. But you're not hitting no points on why the film is worse.
Why is that film better aside from the Anakin turning to Vader part? Tell me. What else
What do you
film
mean?
is
The best lightsaber duels that we've ever seen. We've seen Obi-Wan at his greatest. We've seen... What?
CGI Yoda fighting, what's his name?
Don't say Dooku. Come on, man. No.
Dooku versus Yoda is not one of the best lightsabers ever.
Yes, it is one of the best. Dooku and Yoda is not better than Anakin and Obi-Wan. So you're saying...
How does the high ground...
With that old CGI Dooku? With Dooku with the laser?
If you jump up, I'll cut you in half. Just block it.
It doesn't matter. It was 30 minutes of actual fighting. They fought for 30 minutes. That was a battle to the end.
Jody, he's not on a hilltop with a bunch of rifles aiming down to say I have the high ground. He has a sword. The guy in the bottom has a sword.
Look, I didn't understand that high ground stuff, but that's a real thing in battle.
That is, but in lightsaber sword battles, it makes no sense. That's how he got cut out, and then he leaves him there, and then
you were the chosen one.
They were fast forwarding it through, like
said that you
were let's get
destroy the Sith, not join them.
Rushed.
I hate you. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you.
That part.
Man, that shit was fire.
That is the part you cling to because Ewan McGregor's doing his damn best. I'm with you.
No, forget Ewan McGregor. Mace Windu was fire. Mace Windu was that dude. He went head up against Sidious at the end, bro. Sidious versus Yoda was better than Yoda versus Dooku.
Get out of here, Anakin. Oh, come on, I'm going to arrest you.
Execute Order 66. Seeing those Jedis lose like that with the emotional score playing, that was amazing.
That also made no sense. Like, what? They're all gone?
Oh, shit.
None of those Jedis could get only Yoda.
Yeah, the chats would be 100%. They're saying you're speaking blasphemy. Andy, L. Yeah, you should have picked episode 3, motherfucker. This is easy. It's chopped down. It's clear that you abandon all hope for your episode 1. I'll give you the fight between Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Qui-Gon, but that's about it, homie. Because on episode 3, there's fire throughout. From Sidious.
There's the pod race.
People hated the pod race. People hated it.
There's the build up to everything.
Build it up to nothing. Build up to his mama. Build up to him getting bought, bro. Nah, it's just not there. It's episode 1 doesn't have it. And I like episode 1, but episode 3 just delivers too much on the action front, character front. We saw Mace Windu go head up against Sidious, the only freaking Jedi who took Sidious one-on-one and defeated him head up. We saw Sidious versus Yoda. We saw Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Everything went down in there.
All stupid, all unnecessary. Didn't need any of it. Didn't buy any of it. Call it blasphemy all you want. There's no reason for it. It's all stupid.
Yeah, he had to go to the dark side.
I'll be honest, Phantom Menace is stupid too. They're all stupid. All of the prequels are unnecessary.
They're fired.
Anything to any of the characters.
They're fired.
I'll take the L, but to say the Revenge of the Sith is like good is
time. Stupid. Anthony McIntosh, $5 donation. Shout out to my dude Anthony. He said, "Take this L, Andy. Phantom sucks." Except for the final fight in the pod race. Coins up in the air. That's my dude, Ed. And Creed Nation, $20 donation. Shout out to my dude, Creed Nation. He says, Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie. because it took the highest risk of any of the films, and it was the first Star Wars film to make me cry. Yeah, I was 10 at the time, but I still feel the sadness at the time. He ain't lying, bro. When he was like, "You were the chosen one," and he played himself,
now look,
he hated what he had to do.
10, if I watched it when I was 10, maybe, because it's very overdramatic and very
I still get emotional now.
I've seen that scene done better a billion times. It did not do it well. Now,
not in Star Wars.
I would say...
Name a more emotional scene in Star Wars than that. It's all in episode 3, bruh. Exactly.
There really aren't that many hugely emotional stakes.
There's nothing in the original trilogy except for when Luke dragged Darth Vader out and uncovered his mask and he looked ugly and died.
But even that's not sad.
It's not. That's the most, though.
I'm playing them in my head. I don't disagree.
Yeah, that's the most. That's as high as it goes.
Look, clearly your fans don't like Phantom. It was a hard. I knew when I saw it.
No, they like Phantom Menace. No, I love Phantom Menace.
I tried to own it, but my point is, like, they're all trash. They're all trash. I disagree. What would have been a better fight would have been, is Revenge of the Sith good? Like, is that a good movie?
It's fire. I disagree with what you're saying.
No. Hey, I just
we have a lightning round. We still got a minute. We still have a minute.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we still got that final minute, so let's save it for that. Edgardo Rodriguez, $5 donation. Shout out to Edgardo. Shout out to you, dude. He says 1 or 2 great scenes does not make a good movie, Andy. Revenge of the Sith has more good scenes.
What are you going to pick? Attack of the Clones? The cards were stacked against me when the question was asked.
But you could have.
They're like mad at me for trying.
I'm not going to help you now. See, I could have defended episode 1 better. I'm not going to help you because we still got a final round to get to. He says Revenge of the Sith has more good scenes and better acting than the Phantom Menace. Both are terrible, but the least worst is Revenge of the Sith, is what he's saying. I disagree with both being terrible. I'm telling you, I think episode 3 is probably it's the second best Star Wars movie in my opinion. I love it. All right, so we got the final minute round. Let's go ahead and put the timer on the clock. Andy, you get that final minute first. You are up.
Sorry, my internet's being. I'm trying to reset my internet. Can you go first?
Yeah, no problem. I'll even take the time that you used up. It's simple. This debate pretty much showed everything what I was saying. He said he picked the wrong film, but he did. He should have used episode 1 in a better way that I'll talk about after this round is over, but it's simple. Revenge of the Sith has Order 66. It finally showed you who Emperor Sidious was. It tied in all their emotional relationships. And even though if you have a problem with episode 1 and 2, episode 3 comes and cleans it up because it ties it all together in the end. We saw Mace Windu be that dude, go head up against Sidious, while Sidious was manipulating Anakin, showed his cards, and where Anakin was about to kill Sidious, but he still got in his head and had Padme working on the man. Mustafar battle between Anakin and you and the Chosen was screaming, bro. This shit had everything. The best lightsaber duel, arguably, the best confrontation between Sidious and Yoda, arguably, or maybe you want Sidious and Mace, or maybe you want the original. But at the end of the day, when he killed Dooku in the beginning of that movie, I already knew what that movie was gonna be. Time, the best. Andy, you ready?
Yes, I think it's better. My internet. Sorry, I was a little spotty there. Look, Revenge of the Sith ruins to me the arc of Vader. I just don't buy it. But look, you're right. I forgot something that I don't want to forget, which is Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon is probably the most interesting thread of the whole prequel series because he believes in something that the Jedi are doing, and he's wrong, and he's fighting against his own convictions. I would argue Liam Neeson and Qui-Gon are the best performance out of all of them. And that character was so important to have in that whole series, and to have him die at the end and give Obi-Wan what he needs to sort of move forward are immensely important parts that we're glossing over that do really make that work. Yeah, the acting's stiff, there's bad, I get it, but all you're clinging onto is that reveal, and there's a powerful moment where you were the chosen one that Ewan McGregor delivers strongly, but it's not as earned because Anakin and the writing are so terrible. Is what I'm trying to get at. Yes, we're eating onto it now because it's like, oh, well, we don't get anything better. Clearly, it's affected a lot of you, but it couldn't affect me because I just didn't. He was a crazy person. Anakin was crazy, stalkerish, simp at the worst level. I'm just like, I didn't feel for him once, and I wanted to feel for Vader in a way.
Time. There it is. Time. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you're supposed to do now is you're supposed to, after this is live, Go to the pinned comment, cast your vote for who won this round of Yin and Yang. Eduardo Rodriguez returned with another $5 donation. Shout out to my dude, Eduardo. He says, by the way, something from the EU that I wish that was brought into the prequel trilogy is that Windu is a master of Vapad, a fighting style that channels the dark side. Yep, that's what that purple from, man. The light and the dark. Mace is that dude, bro. And episode 3 had a lot. And Hitachi wants to say that Mace didn't beat him. Mace beat him, bro. He even though Sidious planned for there to be a moment that Anakin would intervene, he still took that L to Mace because everybody takes an L to Mace. Let's just keep it a buck.
Also, if you're adding time, let's just talk about how that executive order was complete nonsense. It makes no sense how they'd know all the Jedi plans and just murder everybody.
They were all clones, and they used the clone army.
Completely lazy storytelling. It was just an easy, like, we got to kill all the Jedi. Good. Oh, cool. We'll just have some order say out. That sounds
I think
cool.
It worked.
Doesn't make sense. How would they know all how would the clones all know it? No, there's no way.
Episode 2, because in episode 2 it was all about the clones, and those clones were programmed and ran by Dooku, who was programmed and ran by Sidious. So
yeah, but each Jedi was doing its own thing.
Each Jedi on every planet used the clone army.
Right, but I don't believe it would have been as easy to kill them all as it was. It didn't make any sense.
Okay, the execution of it, you mean?
Yes, the execution of it was lazy. Yeah. It was cool. It was cool. Oh my God, they're turned. But those Jedi should have been way more powerful to get the hell out of there. And there were a lot of them. We had a lot of Jedis back in the day. Anyway, clearly your fans like Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith is freaking better.
It's also the only PG-13 one, right? Or back then, so there's like that made a lot of sense too. But it did get darker.
Yes,
but I never bought it.
Edgardo Rodriguez is back with another 5. Shout out to you, bro. He says Jin's an underused character, sadly. Planeteer representing, showing love to you, Andy and Jody. Call me Eddie, by the way. Got you. My bad, Eddie. Shout out to Big Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie, I see you over mine. Nice to see you over here, too. Thanks
for showing love, man. Tight. Devin Lockwood's in the building, man. What's up, Devin? We in here, get it on. We just finished up round 1 of the Yin and Yang. So let's go ahead and start this thing off. Let's go ahead and go into round number 2 and take it there. Round number 2, topic, better action star.
You said you got Segal. Please take Segal.
I'll take Segal.
I love me Segal, but this is a bloodbath.
This is easy. Yeah, for me.
Bloodbath.
This is easy work.
Bloodbath.
You making it too easy for me.
No,
better action star, Segal or Stallone?
You got the better answer last round. I'll take the better answer this round.
For sure. So it's gonna make this win much more sweeter. All right. So I got Steven Seagal. That means you're gonna go ahead and you start first, bro. 10-minute clock. You got it.
Dude, Stallone, not only action movie, we can go Over the Top, we can go Cobra, we can go, the list goes on and on. He's an Academy Award nominated writer and director of an Academy Award. He's done other directing. Academy Award winning film, which is Rocky. Seagal can't write a poem. Seagal, who's best? Look, we got action hero Rocky versus Seagal, and I'll argue he's better than that. But there's no argument here. You can't say Seagal's ever going to be able to write a Rocky. Rocky is next level beyond just dumb 80s action. Rocky is one of the most inspirational sports dramas ever that then spurred so many actually surprisingly fantastic sequels and franchises beyond just the Rambos that, action stuff we'll get to. Rocky's way more than that. What the hell has Seagal done that could be even in the same galaxy as the Rocky franchise? I want to start there. Please, how are you going to win this fight? Telling me that sure, on action level we can have maybe a fight, but let's just you're going to remove Rocky from the whole thing. Let's hear it.
Judging by what you've been saying so far with your argument, this is going to be quite easy for me. This is about better action star, and the first thing you ran to with Sylvester Stallone was a writer.
You never said that out loud. I'm looking at the title: Stallone versus Seagal. Now you've added a subtitle.
No, I said it's right here on the screen. Better action star.
I'm looking at your Skype. I don't see the screen.
Why don't you see the screen?
Because I have your Skype up because it's on a delay.
It's in the hold on. It's right there on the motherfucking thing.
On the title, it says Stallone versus Seagal. Best prequel.
Yeah, but on the tweet, on the tweet,
you're gonna beat me on semantics of action.
Semantics.
Okay.
It's actually what the freak. It's right here on the screen. Go ahead again. Go ahead. Let me go, and then you can fix it. We got 10 minutes, motherfreaker. So anyway, you went straight to Sylvester Stallone being a writer, writing.
I'll still take it. Go ahead.
Yeah, writing. Oh, okay, he's a writer. I'm talking about that action star, bro. Steven Seagal, Under Siege, On Deadly Ground, Fire Down Below, and the #1 probably best 80s action movie, Hard to Kill, bruh. When it comes down to action stars, I'm talking about a star in the action getting it done. Steven Seagal is that dude.
Stupid question. Stallone is not an action
I'll
star.
give you Rocky.
Stupid question.
Well, how's it not Rocky?
No,
Cliffhanger?
He's not an actor. He's an actor.
He's not an action star? Expendables?
No, it's like saying Bruce Lee or Bradley Cooper. Like, this is stupid.
Wait. So you're trying to say that Stallone is not an action star?
Van Damme versus Segal is a good
How are you going to give Van Damme but not give Stallone? Well, you ain't putting respect on Stallone's name.
Your fight is as unfair as saying Stallone versus Segal and then letting it all be played. Because it's not. You're right. All Segal does is action movies. So you're right. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Whoa, you ain't giving enough respect to the Sly, my dude. Yeah, Rambo? What's going on here? Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Steven Seagal, Wesley Snipes.
Seagal's all around better, but if I'm going to go for action movies, I would go Seagal. Seagal's like, I'm an action movie in my heart.
All right, well, forget the action movie, but star, though. Action star, that dude in those movies, too. It's not just the movies, it's the movies and the man.
Stallone is more than that. That's the problem. It's like the debate in me is like, it's so easy for you to win that.
Stallone made his career off of action movies.
But no, Stallone did a lot of stuff.
Like what? Rocky is an action movie.
Go back to Rhinestone Cowboy. It all started.
Don't nobody know him from that shit, Rhinestone Cowboy. Ain't nobody talking about that.
That's where it came from. Rocky is a drama. Rocky is absolutely a drama. So you're going to win because of technicality.
Oh, my God. How of technicality?
Judge Dredd and Daylight aren't better than Seagal movies. Yeah, you're right. On an action level, Stallone has not kept up the same. Seagal's action movies are 10 times better. So I can sit here and lie, but the question's stupid. And I would have fought you before we started.
You're in and out. Can you reset your camera, or is it? I got this thing going on.
You can't see me?
No, you kind of.
Hello?
I could hear you perfectly fine, but your visuals are gone. Like, maybe you need to hit a refresh. Well, that's me. I'm showing two of me. Smoke bomb. Yeah. We're gonna get Andy back. I'm not gonna say nothing about the debate. I'm not gonna say nothing about the debate until Andy gets back. But bruh, I couldn't believe that took a huge left. He didn't want to give it to Sly. You know what I'm saying? See, this is goes to show you. This right here is webcam, and this right here is DSLR. You see the difference in quality? Now, this webcam is the best webcam you could buy. Webcams suck. That's just the end of the day. Webcams suck. So let's see if we get Andy back up in this motherfreaker. Somehow, some way. What happened to him? Guys, hold the debate off. Do not, even though Andy kind of went somewhere else with it, we're going to try to bring him back in here somehow. Allow. Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna try to get it back. Well, in the meantime, I think Sylvester Stallone was disrespected, and Sylvester Stallone is that dude. Who else sees Sylvester Stallone as anything other than an action star? Like, I get that. So let me take this time off the clock, by the way. I get that Sylvester Stallone had he's a great writer. He started Rocky, but who sees Stallone as anything other than an action star? He's absolutely one of the top 5 action stars of all time. And in the 90s, he's the dude. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, Steven Seagal, and out of Wesley Snipes and Jean-Claude, I put Jean-Claude in there. Like, those are your action stars. So I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, all right, he's calling. Let me see. He probably lost electricity. You said the email? All right. Yeah, I think I see it. All right. We're going to try and get him in here in other ways. See if we can try to get him back. Let me see. Okay, let me see if we get him up in this motherfucker. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to get this done. Put some invites. I got to do some things to get Andy back in here. That's old. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. This version of it is not good. I'm gonna have to cut all this shit out, or most of it. Me looking at a screen. You guys don't see what the freak is going on. I'm trying to do it. I'm this setup, trying to figure out by email and putting it in. There it goes. All right, that invite is sent. Let's see if we can get him back in here under a different account. See what happens. There it is. Is he back? He is back. Can you hear me?
You got me now?
Yep, he is back. So we're gonna this is opportunistic.
You got me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. All right, sorry. Where were we?
We're gonna start it over. We're going to start over the round because you felt like you were duped. So you motherfreaker, we're gonna start that. We're gonna get a fresh 10 minutes on this motherfreaker.
What are we? And we're calling it Action Star? I mean, I'll argue it.
Yeah, Action Star.
All right. I mean, he's still the better Action Star, but stupid question.
All right, we're ready. You're up. So start whenever you're ready.
All right. So Action Star is that we're fighting this? All right, because it's a whole new mindset. Because I got to go through his best action movies, which are Demolition Man. We got Rambo, obviously. I mean, look,
I'll even switch with you. I'll even switch because I told you I'll take Stallone.
No. I'm just trying to say, to me, look, Stallone's an action star. I'm not trying to say he's not an action star. I guess that's where everyone. I'm sounding stupid. Stallone's just 10 times better than any star. Like any genre, he beats Segal easily. But where I'm stuck, and I'm just trying to so everyone understands me. Yes, Segal makes a really fun action movie, right? Under Siege, all these movies are very fun, but they're not as iconic. Like Stallone's next level. Stallone is a movie star. I would argue Segal isn't. Segal was a 90s action hero that made some fun movies. Segal transcended the genre is why I'm confused.
80s and 90s.
You're going to get hung up on the specifics of action star, which is all Segal was, right? And it's like Stallone is just a billion times better. So when you're coming at me like, well, the Rocky doesn't count, it's just a stupid argument.
That's all Stallone is, though, to me. Am I wrong for thinking that?
Rocky is action too. It's just action drama. Stallone is able to go across all genres of action because he's just a billion times better. I mean, there's so many more movies better than Segal. So yeah, Rocky, Rambo, Tango and Cash.
I'm trying to remember us. I can't name two Sylvester Stallone films that are not action movies. All he does is action movies.
No, he did Copland. I would say Rocky is drama.
That's kind of those are action to me. Like Bad Boys.
No, Copland. He did. Look, but we're not. My God, regardless, The Stopper My Mom Will Shoot. Oscar. Come on, this guy's done comedy. They're shitty. But the point.
Assassins.
What film of Seagal's are you going to put up against anything of Stallone's? I guess let's go there because the best one is
Hard to Kill.
No.
Hard to Kill is his best movie, in my opinion. Not Under Siege. Under Siege is commercial, but Hard to Kill is better. Way better.
Hard to Kill. Hard to Kill is a fun premise. Here's the problem. Seagal makes a great martial artist and does fantastic sequences because he's really doing it.
Yes.
That's why I understand the dilemma and everyone thinks I'm being an idiot because I'm taking the question seriously. From an action standpoint, he delivers in those amazing fights.
Yes.
But Stallone just makes better movies. They're movies that have defined the whole decade. Cliffhanger, like I said, Demolition Man, Rocky, Rambo. These are all franchises. Expendables, even all franchises that Seagal isn't even able to make. He's one franchise under his belt, which is Under Siege, and the second one sucked. Second one written by Matt Reeves, ironically, of the Batman, who you love, Dark Territory.
He wrote which one? 2?
He wrote Under Siege, Dark Territory. But yeah, I mean, like, come on. We go back to Cobra, which has amazing one-liners. If I'm going to go pick his best action movies, it's going to be let off some steam. Cobra is fantastic. There we go. Cobra versus Seagal beats any Seagal movie every day. So I'm trying to remember like what other sort of hardcore actions. He's using guns more often in that movie, but that still counts. Yes, Stallone's got Seagal even beat.
I don't see it like that.
You're saying is better than Cobra or Over the Top or
I haven't seen Over the Top.
Man?
I've seen Demolition Man. I've seen Cobra. Hard to Kill is better than both of those movies. Hard to Kill is even better than Rocky movies as well. I'll give you Rocky.
Right,
I'll give you Rocky 4, and I'll give you Rocky 2. No, Clubber Lang Return. That's 3, right?
Yeah, Clubber Lang's 3.
I'll give you 4 and 3 are better than Hard to Kill. I got Hard to Kill better than.
We already won. And you said Hard to Kill is the best. So Stallone has already won because you've already admitted. That's my point. Stallone has made $1 million.
There's more to Rocky than just action, though. Even though it's an action movie, there's more to it than just action. This is why it gets the bump. Action-wise, as an action film, they can't compete with Hard to Kill in Sylvester Stallone movies, in my opinion.
Seagal's made maybe 4 good action movies.
Oh, stop. It goes down the list. I pull up his IMDb. He'll be hitter after hitter.
I don't have to look up his IMDb because I know them all. That's why I was taking it seriously.
Then why are you bullshitting then? Why would you say that?
Mark for Death is great. Hard to Kill.
Yes.
And then you got Under Siege.
Yes.
Those three are
on deadly ground.
Above the law and on deadly ground.
Above the law. Fire down below.
And no. That's when things start to. I'll maybe give you. What's the one with exit wounds with DMZ?
Exit wounds, that's fire too.
Maybe I'll give you that one, but that's it. So we got 5. You got 5, like they all start bleeding together, becoming the same movie. Let's be honest.
All right, now give me 5. Give me 5 Sylvester Stallone films that are different franchises.
You get different franchises.
Yes.
Let's ignore the 7 and the.
What are you gonna say? Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4. That's milking the cow.
With 2 of which are better, but
these are all different franchises.
Here we go. We got Rocky. We got Rambo. Both franchises have multiple additions that outweigh Seagal already. So, win.
Which Rambo? Which Rambo?
We got Cliffhanger. We got Judge Chandler. I would go part 2. I would go 2. Let's go. And then we got
Cliffhanger.
Demolition Man. Demolition Man versus Weather Snipes is fantastic.
It's not better than freaking On Deadly Ground Fire. It's no. It's a good movie.
Yes, it is. It's way better.
Not.
We got Cobra. Cobra is so good.
No.
It's wiping out the trash of the city. I would argue Expendables.
Stop. What were you doing now? See, there you go. 2? Blasphemy.
Expendables 2.
Expendables 0. None of them.
Expendables 2 is a lot of fun.
None of them are good.
Is that the one that I do blend them? 2 is when they actually finally stepped up and gave us what we want. And then I think that's the villain was Van Damme, which was fantastic. And then part 3 brought in Mel Gibson as the villain. Dude, Expendables 2 and 3 are way better than Expendables 1 because they finally deliver the action that we expected. It gave us that scene with Bruce and Arnold, and then Chuck Norris shows up and Stallone. Dude, it's...
can I get executive decision too?
He dies in the beginning.
I got to get executive decision. Freak you. Steven Seagal, executive decision.
Kurt Russell movie, not a...
I saw him on the billboards. Steven Seagal was on the billboards for that shit.
And died in the beginning. No, dude, I know my action movies. Look, the argument you...
Yeah, I know mine. That's why I said Steven Seagal.
The argument I'll give you is, yes, there's hidden because you're focusing on action, which Seagal has some good in. But the more I play it out and get more rational about it, they're all the same. Every movie Seagal makes the same. There's no range in any of them.
That's what an action hero is, though. Action hero is always the same. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Demolition Man, Cobra, Rocky, Rambo. These are different.
Demolition Man, Cobra, Cliffhanger. Those do not compete to the Steven Seagal top tiers. You're naming them, and that's fine, but those are not on Steven Seagal's level. They're not better than Out for Kill, On Deadly Ground, Under Siege, or freaking Hard to Kill.
Dude, they're hot. They're way better at the box office. And why are you,
box office?
Just lying, why are you giving Demolition Man such a bad rap?
I'm not. Demolition Man is a good action film.
Demolition Man is. I would argue Demolition Man is one of his best action movies, hands down. Fantastic premise, amazing action.
Demolition Man
kills it. Demolition Man is fantastic.
Yes, Demolition Man is tight. It's tight. It's not an A movie.
It's way tighter than Hard to Kill. It's way better than Hard to
Kill.
No,
I disagree.
Tell me
Hard to Kill is an originator. That's the best revenge story in any action film.
Dude, he stole all that from Kung Fu.
He started it. He started that revenge story action hero shit.
No, he didn't.
And on that level, heck yeah.
Van Damme was doing it before.
Van Damme, he's trash. He's not even an action hero. He don't even know karate. And Steven Seagal exposed him for it.
Dude, you're changing it all. Like you just said, it was first. We're not whatever. It doesn't even matter. Let's not argue about better.
No, on that level.
First. No, Van Damme was doing it way before
what
Seagal was.
That is the best revenge action story.
No, Bronson, Death Wish is the best revenge. That was way before Seagal too. Dude, learn your action movies.
Death Wish, way fantastic. Death Wish ain't better than freaking Hard to Kill. Miss me with that shit. I seen that movie.
Action movies?
It's not better than Hard to Kill. Stop it. I seen that shit when the Death Wish remake came out with Charles Bronson. I seen that. That is not better than Hard to Kill. What?
Dude, it's great. Dude,
you just jumping on it because it's a classic. That shit is not like Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's important.
People hype up Breakfast at Tiffany's like that's a great. That movie's trash. I go back and rewatch these old movies that people hype up and they suck. Breakfast at Tiffany's is a racist trash movie about the Kardashians before the Kardashians were the Kardashians. That original man, they both please.
Seagal had a phase there where he had 5.
He was the dude.
Movies. And there was a phase where he met DMX and had a couple
and
of
elevated it on the black people in front.
Yeah, and I liked it. I own Exit. I loved it.
Time, freak.
You want me to go in my minute?
Yeah, you can go for it. Let me see. Let me start it up.
This argument's just dumb because Van Damme that
Charles
fight.
Bronson Death Wish. I've seen that shit. That shit is
a better fight.
It's good for its time. Just like
the problem is
all the other movies.
You're right because Seagal. You're right in a way because, and I see the argument here. Seagal is made. This is my minute, right? Did you start it?
No, I ain't started yet. I'm having freaking technical difficulties right here.
Oh, are we still live?
Yeah, we're still on.
Oh,
I'm trying to get my box to
I'm not going to talk about my. Not going to go on my minute then. But yes, Demolition Man is fantastic. Come on, the 3 shells.
All right, we're ready.
All right, tell me when.
All right, you're good. Go.
Where was it going? Look, Seagal is only known for action movies. He's done nothing now. He can't even do anything now. He's so old and fat and doesn't even know how to make his movies. It's depressing. I don't even mean to try to judge him. Just like it's like, man, the dude hit hard in life and hit fall, and then tries to like star in these direct movies, and he literally walks in and then stunt double and walks out. It's like Bruce Willis. It's checked in. Stallone's at least like trying. Stallone's still doing Creed movies. Stallone's doing those escape plans, which are fun prison escapes in movies. Stallone's still delivering, even on straight to VOD. They're far better than Seagal's. From a legacy standpoint, you got to from just the fact that Stallone's bigger than even just an action hero. Stallone is a movie star who's made dramas and comedies successfully. It's not even in the same league. But from an action standpoint, yeah, Cobra, Demolition Man, Rocky, Rambo. Hell, I'll go Daylight was still fun. Judge Dredd is fun. Dredd with Carl Urban's way better. But still, Mr. I Am the Law. Dude, he owned the 90s.
Time.
Fun movies.
Time. All right, for sure. All right. Yeah. Shout out to Demolition Man. Wesley Snipes film. That was a fire film for him, not Sylvester Stallone. Let's keep it a buck because that film was all about Wesley. And I like how Andy would try to ride on Demolition Man so much. He put his argument so much on Demolition Man because he knew that was probably the best non-Rocky action film that Sylvester Stallone was in. But that's Wesley's movie. And you could argue, I think, was that Sandra Bullock? Might have been Sandra Bullock, the love interest. Might have been hers as well. But I digress. I named films like Hard to Kill, On Deadly Ground, Under Siege, and he threw things at me like Cliffhanger, Demolition Man, Wesley Snipes' film. Okay. And what else? He mentioned some Cobra for show. Steven Seagal is known for releasing different variety after different variety of action films that is spread across the whole entire landscape. And as an action film lover, you gotta love Steven Seagal because he has the big plethora of action movies. Stallone is a one-trick pony. Freak, that 30 seconds went by quick. God dang, time. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it.
Seagal has a range. Yeah, my God.
He has a better range of action movies. He has a better library.
Oh my God!
Oh, and on video on demand, I should have hit video on demand. Seagal is killing it.
I bet you if I pulled a scene from Above the Law or On Deadly Ground, I could trick you. You wouldn't even know which scene it's from.
Yes, I would.
That is such a lie. They are so interchangeable. It's not even funny, and I like them. It's ridiculous.
On Deadly Ground, I know scene. I know that movie scene for scene. You ain't tricking me. I know that movie scene for scene.
I'll try to pull some.
Yeah, go ahead and try and pull some motherfuckers. So there it is. Time. That's the final rounds in. Cast your vote after this is live. By the time most of you guys are watching this video, the live has already been done. You guys could go to the pinned comment at the top of the comment section and cast your vote for who won round 2, Jody or Andy, Seagal,
well, let's call
Stallone.
Let's call it Surge for his $5 donation. But
oh shoot, did I miss something?
Let's give him one of those. Andy took this offline time to do some Stallone research. No, dude. I don't need to look up Stallone, Van Damme, Seagal, any of that stuff. Trust me. If my internet goes down, I can't do research.
Stallone don't got it though.
Stallone definitely got it. I know my movies, and the only reason I gave it pause was because I was like, ugh, this semantics debate is stupid.
It's simple.
It's an easy way to win, and I hate. Well, he only does action movies, so therefore, blah 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 blah. Rambo isn't really.
It's action star. It's action star. Forget the movies.
Like, I didn't want to go down. I didn't want to go down because I'm like, come on, Stallone's a billion better on every level. But I feel confident in the way it ended.
So do I. I pretty much feel like that was pretty much done. I named better movies. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the last topic. This topic is
just list movies names.
This topic is brought to you by the sponsors. This was a sponsor's choice topic, and they wanted us to talk about it, and I think this is a pretty darn good one. Shout out to the sponsors of Tier 1, who are members of Jody's Corner, who click that blue join button down below and get the according perks. This is a perk of Tier 1.
Can I tell you something I keep forgetting to mention anywhere?
Yeah.
Tom Brady just moved to my town.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. He should have just retired, bro. That's freaking
he
wild.
wanted that fat money, man. That's the big cash in, do a couple seasons, cash out, you're done.
That's wild. He should have just retired. That's tainting his career. You want to play for one team throughout your whole career. It's a good look that way.
Hey, it's gonna put Tampa Bay on the map for the next couple of years. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'll be checking. All right, here we go. Sponsor's choice: worst MCU trilogy, Iron Man or Thor? Oh, this is a tough one. Worst MCU trilogy.
Wouldn't you rather do Captain America versus Iron Man? Isn't that a closer fight?
Okay. What did I just hear? This is the worst MCU trilogy. Captain America's trilogy is fire.
No, I know. So I would argue. Well, you got Iron Man and you got.
You think Iron Man's trilogy is good? For sure. I'll take Thor. No,
you're right. I would. I forgot. Civil War is not a Captain America movie.
Should we flip the
That's
coin?
The argument. No. I'm just to defend reason. I do not like First Avenger.
Okay, First Avenger's Winter Soldier, fire.
I love Winter Soldier.
Civil War is the third one.
Civil War is not a Captain America movie.
It's called Captain America: Civil War.
No, it's an Avengers movie. They just had to call it
Avengers 2.5. Yes, I understand.
Yes.
But it's still it's technically a Captain America.
No, you're right. Thor's way worse.
But Iron Man, then Iron Man?
No, nothing beats Iron Man. So I'm going to pre-argue for you because Iron Man's the best. Therefore, how does that not win? So you have Iron Man 2, which sucks.
I'll take Iron Man.
3. Iron Man 1's one of the best. You can stay on the top tier. You got Iron Man 2, which sucks.
I'll pick Iron Man. 3. I'll pick Iron Man as the worst. I'll argue it.
And then you got Thor 1, which is okay. Surprisingly, you got Thor 2, which sucks.
Are we going to fight this shit or are you going to prep everybody?
So it's like It's no, and at that point, it's just like it's a silly fight. So well, spin the wheel because I could go either way.
Yeah, the wheel is out of commission. I'm flipping coins around this motherfucker.
Oh, flip a coin, whatever. Yeah, sorry, flip a coin.
Yeah, wheel's out of commission. That wheel's in studio bound. All right, where's my Buffalo
The
Head
argument
nickel?
is like Ragnarok throws this off because I don't think Ragnarok's the best film, but it's a fun film. And then it's going to be arguing is part 3 better than
we're
Ragnarok.
gonna say this, Andy. Iron Man is heads, Thor is tails. Whatever you land on is what you have to defend.
Iron Man is heads. Okay, got it. Let's just do it that way.
All right. And this is for you. It's heads. Shoot.
So I got Iron Man.
Yeah, it's heads.
Okay, so I'm Iron Man. You're Thor.
That's the tail side. So are you gonna defend Iron Man? You're gonna say
I'm saying Iron Man is the best, and you're saying Thor's the best.
we're talking about worst.
Sorry. So wait, am I saying Iron Man's the worst then?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll do either. I just never understand our
All
terms.
right, for sure.
All right,
Anthony
so Iron Man's the
McIntosh.
worst,
He says
and you
Thor
got
has
Thor
2
the worst.
winners. Iron Man just the first one. That's what he thinks. Here we go. All right, so I'll start this one
Okay,
first.
go
That
for it,
means
yep.
you get to end. They put my 10 minutes on the motherfucking clock. All right. Thor is by far, and this is no BS, he's by far the worst MCU character that is an Avenger. He's out of the whole entire Avengers, because I don't count side characters that show up in 1 or 2 movies. A main character in the hierarchy of what the Avengers is, Thor is absolutely bare bottom the worst. And next to him is the Hulk. And I tried, and I gave in. You know, I was bought into Thor 1. When Thor 1 came out, it was actually a good film. Thor 1 was good in my opinion. You know, it had issues, and it still does, but that's a decent film. It's not a great film. It's not a trash film. It's not a bad film. It's right about at that point. B minus, maybe, somewhere around there. B minus. But then Dark World come out. Thor Dark World completely tanked, in my opinion, the way that the public perceived the character Thor. When Dark World came out, it had too much Jane Foster. It didn't know what type of story it was telling. The Dark Elf, the Ether, it introduced the stone. I believe the first real stone after the Tesseract. The Ether, it was this confusing thing. The Dark Elves, you had Malekith. Thor's mom died. They're back and forth on Earth, time traveling from reality to reality, the 9 realms aligning. This whole entire weird, confusing thing where Thor just wasn't Thor. He still wasn't the God of Thunder in any of the first 2 films. And then I just need to rest the first part of my argument with Ragnarok. You guys know what that is. The destruction of Asgard told in a fairy tale Dr. Seuss joke form. Completely emasculated the character. Valkyrie pissing in his mouth and him enjoying and drinking that shit. Him getting electrocuted by a device. You electrocuted the God of Thunder. You tasered him with a quarter-shaped device, bro. The God of Thunder. Andy, I'm done with this motherfucker. I'm starting to get mad.
Look, you would win if this was, if we're talking best film, because Iron Man is arguably the best film. But as a trilogy, Iron Man's awful, dude. Iron Man 2 is, I would argue, one of the worst film near Captain Marvel. The Thor Dark World is just boring. Iron Man 2 is just really problematic, and it doesn't make any sense. It wastes the Demon in a Bottle storyline. Jon Favreau quit the MCU because it was so bad. Iron Man 2 is a train wreck if you go rewatch it. It's really there's so much to it. Where he designs the element. Like, it is a mess of a movie. A mess. Coming from Iron Man, which was such a high, which is fantastic. Iron Man 2, boo, terrible. Iron Man 3? Dude, Iron Man 3, talk about a joke fest. You want to have the same argument as Ragnarok? Shane Black's like let's take Iron Man's powers away and put him with a little kid. Oh, we'll have this little fun. Oh, and let's F the Mandarin, one of the best MCU villains ever. Let's just make him a jokey joke. So your argument is invalid because it's the same thing. But I would argue it's even worse about because at least if we're saying, again, the question, trilogy, Thor becomes the god at the end. He does. He has his lightning power. He finally learns his way. It is a 1, 2, 3, one and done. And look, for the jokey jokes, I'd rather Thor get that because that's a version of Thor that I like. It makes sense. I don't have a problem with that. Thor 1 was amazingly better than I thought it would be. Thor 1 by Kenneth Branagh, as you give it credit, I was like, damn, I can't believe I enjoyed a Thor movie. Thor 2, it's boring. It just doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't have any point. I agree. I don't like Thor 2. It's a bad movie. Thor Ragnarok, dude, lifts it up. It's fun. It is a fun romp of a movie. That beginning where we have to see Thor in action, cutting that beast's head off. That's Thor action you're ignoring. There are moments of Thor action, and it's great. And then when Hela shows up, what's her name? I forget.
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett. But she shows up. Like, it's a good threat. And then Odin has to test him. I really do think that beyond the jokey jokes, there are some legitimate moments that make Ragnarok great. So we're going to argue, how are you going to defend 2 and 3? Because Iron Man 1, I get it. Iron Man 1's the lips is all of them. But this isn't best film. It's best trilogy. As a trilogy, Iron Man is a complete failure.
Iron Man has the best trilogy because Iron Man has the best film by far out of all 6 movies.
You're going to repeat this for 10 minutes. And
No, I won't. I'll go down the list, brother.
You got to go to 2 movies.
I will go to the other 2 movies. I just want to let you know that Iron Man 1 is the best film that we both agree on. Iron Man 2 is, you're right. Iron Man 2 is a bad film. That's a really bad film. Worst of the MCU? The worst? No. Top 5 worst? Sure. And then we get to the Mandarin. But let's do 2 for 2. Iron Man 2, Thor Dark World. More people watched and like Iron Man 2.
Because it's Iron Man. He's a better character.
Dark World, floppy. People didn't really watch it. People hate it. I think people generally just don't like Thor Dark World more than they do Iron Man 2. Now we go to the third films, Ragnarok versus Iron Man 3. And you're right when you said that about the Mandarin. He was he was a prevalent villain in Marvel Comics that was washed and tainted and made into a joke. But the good thing about Iron Man 3 was at least you got half of a movie where he was an intimidating villain. It doesn't matter your attack dogs wherever you send them, I will find them and hunt them down.
A fraud, you mean?
You'll never see me coming. He was a menacing still character. You still got it, though. At least you got half of a movie of a good film. Ragnarok from beginning to end was sauce. It was a comedy. It was funny as a comedy, but we're talking about Thor, the MCU. Ragnarok beginning to end was trash. At least they duped me in Iron Man 3.
You're lying. You said you liked Thor 1.
As a comedy. A lot of people, I like Thor 1. A lot of
people like Ragnarok was very successful. Very successful.
That's good.
I mean, you just didn't like the comedy, but Iron Man 3 was filled with unnecessary
comedy. It's a bad Thor
comedy.
movie. Ragnarok is a terrible Thor movie.
It's the advancement of his character. He's
advancement. It was the destruction of Asgard, and his father died, and they made jokes of it. They killed all of his friends, and it was a joke.
All they do in Iron Man is he makes jokes about it. So I don't understand how you can win that argument.
No one really. No, who died in Iron Man? Who died in Iron Man?
Almost died several times.
Almost died. Oh, okay.
Iron Man almost died. I mean, yeah, but who dies in Ragnarok?
His bearded friend. Yeah, the characters that were with him in the first 2 journeys. His team, with Lady Sif, the bearded dude, and he got killed by Hela. What are you talking about?
I mean, we're talking about Thor.
What are you talking about, man? Freaking Mom died in Dark World.
But the point is you're arguing the comedy and Thor Ragnarok, but my point is Iron Man 3 has ridiculous and comedy in a movie that seemed like it was going to be great, where you just set up those points. Oh, but then I was like, never mind, just kidding. Ha 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 ha. We're funny, aren't we? We're so funny. Let's ruin the whole movie because we're trying to be funny. Ha ha ha. Way worse and way more offensive than anything that happened in Thor Ragnarok.
But Iron Man 3 was still more entertaining, bro. It was Iron Man 3. Even Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 was more entertaining than Thor Dark World, bro.
That's how you're going to win this?
What?
Iron Man 3 is not better than Iron Man 2. Don't you dare try to. We both have shitty sequels. Wipe them out. We're arguing about Iron Man.
They're all wiped out, but they're not canceling each other out. Because
I'm just saying we got 2 movies we're each fighting for.
Iron Man 2, even though I don't like it and I hate it as an MCU film, it's garbage. Iron Man 2 is hands down more entertaining than Dark World, than Thor 2. You even said it yourself that Thor 2 is boring. His biggest problem is that it's boring.
I rewatched it before Endgame, and I think it's more fun than I gave it credit for.
It ain't.
And Iron Man 2 is offensive. Actually, you know,
Oh
I'm
shoot!
trying to both more effective than me. Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 are complete waste of the character.
Oh,
they completely waste the source material. They are awful. What are you like?
I can't believe you just said that. That's what said.
Iron Man 2 and 3 are awful. They're both awful.
Yeah, but Thor is so much worse. Look at the state of the character. Iron Man is loved because of his trilogy. Thor is hated.
You will lose that debate in public. So that's your own personal beef. You can go there. But people loved Ragnarok, dude. That was a huge.
Wait. You think the public likes Thor more than Iron Man?
They liked Ragnarok a lot. They paid money.
Yeah, because it's a comedy. They liked it for reasons other than Thor.
So was Iron Man 3, and they didn't like that one.
Do you think the public likes the Thor trilogy more than Iron Man's trilogy?
I think no, because Iron Man's way more popular. It's not a fair question.
He's popular because his trilogy's better.
No, they like Iron Man better because he's Tony Stark and it's Robert Downey
because Jr. he's a better character. Is Robert Downey Jr. a better Iron Man than Chris Hemsworth is Thor?
I'm asking you and your audience who are nerds to really think about it, because we can't just let Iron Man win or Thor win his character. You got to break down the movies. And as we're breaking down the movies, Thor has a boring movie in 2. It has a decent beginning and it has a really fun third. Iron Man has one of the best movies there is. It's the best one, I would argue, best movie. 2 and 3 are abysmal. They're awful. They're awful. And I see in the comments people are like, 3 is the worst. No, 2 is the worst. It's not. Those are not universally loved movies. Ragnarok is.
And so Thor, okay, you can say that, but you're downplaying, you're upping Thor 1 because most of the people don't like Thor 1 either.
Sure, that's what I'm up. We're up against one movie that's better than all of them. I'm not going to lie about that, but that doesn't make a trilogy. The question isn't best film; it's best trilogy.
Yes, and Iron Man has better movies.
Thor 1 and Ragnarok lift up to be more than one movie. So therefore, the beginning and the end make a trilogy.
Oh,
yes,
what is going on here? What I just hear?
The middle chapter is often boring.
Oh shoot! Is it time? Freak! I need more time. God, mother freaker. Oh, let me hit these donations before we get to our final round. Anthony McIntosh, $5, bro. Shout out to you, man. He says, Jody, I agree. Andy tried to get at me on Jane Foster last week. SJWs are doing too much, forcing the representation issue. Miss me with that, Andy.
That's such bullshit. She's like, what? How does she force anything? She's just a woman in the show, and she's in the comics. How are we forcing her?
They're forcing her.
How is that forced SJW? And maybe the new one.
The new one, yeah. What? That's what you're talking about, Thor 4, right?
I thought you were talking about I don't feel like they did it in the first 3.
No. Well, yeah, they forced her in that movie. Yes, they did. They forced her.
In part 2?
Jane that's the reason why people hated the franchise. They hated her because she was forced in all of Thor's narrative. Like, get out of here, bitch. You're from Earth. Let this man be the king of Asgard real quick. They forced Jane in all the scenes. Get her out of here. People were mad. I was mad. What is she doing here?
Her sidekick played by that.
Oh, yeah, with the Tiggle Bitties. Yeah.
She was worse.
She's in the way. K-Dot, $5, man. Shout out to K-Dot, bro, for a $5 donation. He says, Thor is the worst MCU failure. I wish Odin disowned his whack son. He gave his kingdom to Valkyrie, a drunk who abandoned Asgard. Thor is a loser.
That's not part of the trilogy.
Ragnarok?
Doesn't that happen in Endgame?
Yeah, it happened in Endgame, but he was already
so not part of the trilogy. Not part of the trilogy.
It was already some wishy-washy narrative in there, though.
Keep it in the trilogy.
All right, let's keep it in the trilogy. Knock Shadow, $20 donation. Shout out to my dude, Knock, bro. $500 club member on the Wall of Fame. Knock Shadow came through and dropped probably $1,000 in the last week and a half on Jody's Corner. I love you, Knock. He says, for someone as strong as Thor, they did a poor job using him. Much like Superman being poorly used. But worse, because Thor had a better supporting cast. Shame. I'm ringing the bells. Facts. Ding, ding, ding. Thor is a freaking waste, bro. And you're absolutely right, Knock Shadow. That's why I have him as the worst character in the MCU, because he has a trilogy. Hulk doesn't have his own movies, and that kind of helps him. He's just a side character in other people's movies who's annoying and garbage. He's the second worst character in the MCU. But Thor gets number one.
Universal owns Hulk in like standalone movies or something, so they're using him as a supporting character to get away with it.
Yeah. Vitaly, man, 200 Rubens or rubies or whatever they call it. Shout out to Vitaly. Well, he says, woo, Yin and Yang anniversary. Also, Iron Man won over Ragnarok any day.
I mean,
facts.
Facts. I'm not arguing that.
Thank you, Vitaly, for coming through and showing love, man. Popcorn Planet family members showing love, man. All blended in the families. I appreciate you, man. So yeah, Andy, are you ready to go for that final last minute round to finish off the stream?
Who goes first?
I'll go first, so you can get the final word. Because you be saying I don't be giving you the final word enough. So
no, you've been good.
All right, here we go. I'll go first. All right. So, yeah, you guys heard the arguments. Andy wants to combine films together, but if we really simplify this, it's very simple. We don't need to make it complex. Iron Man 1 is the best. Iron Man 2 is more entertaining and better than Thor 2. Ragnarok and Iron Man 3, if you ask me honestly, I'm watching Iron Man 3 before I ever turn on Ragnarok again. Ragnarok is a farce to who the Thor character is. Ragnarok is a good film based on it being a comedy, has nothing to do with Thor. In fact, it reverse engineers the character Thor and regresses him back to before Thor 1. Now, if you want to say if you want to say Thor Dark World is better than Iron Man 2, I'm for that, and I could understand you saying that. I probably would agree. But when it comes to the whole trilogy, Iron Man has better quality of film. Iron Man 1 combined with Iron Man 3 alone wreck the rest of what Thor has. And let's not forget, Robert Downey Jr. is a better Iron Man than Chris Hemsworth is a Thor. So they have him beat on the character front as well. Time. You up, Andy?
All right, ready? You ready for this?
Yep.
You guys better be listening to me and not just going by your favorites, because let's go remember Iron Man 3, shall we? How about the forced Pepper Potts being forced in as an Iron Man? How about Iron Man throwing away his Iron Man powers? You want to talk about Thor not being Thor? How about, Iron Man, I'm going to go cure myself suddenly at the end of this trilogy. Oh, and then I'm going to throw it in the ocean so I'm not Iron Man anymore. Talk about cop-outs, guys. Remember it. Let's go back and really remember as you guys are trying to knock on Ragnarok. Dude, Ragnarok is a solid chapter end. It is. And you got to remember, this is trilogy, not movie. Trilogy. Thor 1 starts him off as dumb, idiot Thor. Thor 2 is a little bit of a bore. It gets distracted with love. It happens. We all get there. All get distracted by the girl. Thor 3 is him on a bigger adventure, finding his way, Odin dying and making him forced to find himself, to regain his powers. It's a 1, 2, 3 chapter story. Iron Man does nothing of value in 2 or 3. You're distracted by it. They're quality films. Blah, blah, blah. They are garbage films that completely wasted the source material. It forced in Pepper Potts and like, let's make her Iron Man.
Time.
And totally throws out his Iron Man powers like a bitch, which Iron Man would never do.
Who's the bitch here? Yep, it's Thor. Oh my God.
Don't vote with who you like. Vote for the argument.
Vote for the argument that I clearly won.
Iron Man 3 was garbage at the end and a terrible Iron Man movie.
I swear, man, I really like Iron Man 3 over... I like Iron Man 3 over both Thor movies except for Thor 1. I'll watch it before I watch Dark World or Ragnarok, honestly. Just for that first half of man, if they kept the Mandarin like that. What if they kept it? He would have been the best villain.
It would have been so good.
Oh my God, he was so freaking good.
Ben Kingsley coming.
Shoot.
For like Trevor, I'm an actor. Oh my God, it's so dumb.
Can't believe they did that.
I mean, when I watched it in the theaters, I was just trying like, and then I just sounded like, whoa, wait, no.
Jaws were dropped in the theaters when that shit happened, bro.
And they was like, they built this like grounded terrorism plot. It was like, wow, that is scary. Could have been amazing, and what a waste.
Bunda, $5. Shout out to my dude Bunda. We about to get out of here. So thank you for showing love to us, Bunda. He says, yes, I agree with Andy. Iron Man 3 is awful, just like Sing Street. What's up with Sing Street? Is it good? You like that or what?
Oh, I love it. Loved it that year. It's like a romantic
what was that, 2017?
2016 maybe, 2015. I don't remember. I lost count, but it's on. I think it's on Netflix still. But I loved it. Totally 80s. It's an 80s like music. 80s, okay. Love like coming of age story. If you like that sort of stuff, check it out. Great music.
I'm always down for some coming of age. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so very much for locking in Yin Yang number 10. The directions are easy. If you guys are watching this not live, you go to the top pinned comment, cast your vote for 3 rounds. Round 1, round 2, round 3. We talked about best action hero, Sly, or Segal. We talked about the best prequel Star Wars film. I said episode 3, Andy went episode 1, and we just got the worst MCU trilogy between Iron Man and Thor. There it is. Flaming Dragons, my girl Fiona. Shout out to you, Fiona. She says we received Thor Ragnarok more if in charge if he gave me the movie The People That Won It first, then Ragnarok. She asked for a refund for Iron Man. Oh shoot. She didn't like Iron Man. Damn.
The first one?
I think she's talking about the first one. She said Iron Man.
Yes.
Yeah, Iron Man 1 is fire though. Thank you guys. Thank you, Fiona. Shout out to Ray XL, Uso, Tony Robinson, Vitali, Yash, Raging Black Guy, Tony Robinson, HJL, Uber Cool, and my dude, Justin Lee. I appreciate you guys so very much. Oh, she said Iron Man 3. Okay. For sure.
Good.
Andy, thanks a lot, man. Tomorrow, hit me up. We'll let her know. Tomorrow evening.
Yeah, look for us tomorrow night. I got to figure out exactly, but probably around now-ish or late. Yeah, I have some stuff I got to do, but I'll lock it up on Twitter. Check it out. And Bravo, if you're watching this later, you can still donate to Jody now. He's got all the Cash App links, all that stuff down there. So go show him some love.
Andy Signor's Cash App is his name. Andy Signor on Cash App. Just typed it in the chat. And guys, Nerd Report. Go to his channel because he's going to be going live right after this stream. He's probably live now or gearing up to be live in 5 minutes. If you guys looking for content, go support Lewis. You know, he helped Jody's Corner. He helped me and Andy. We the Trinity over here doing this thing on YouTube. If you have time, go check out Nerd Report right now after this live stream. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Peace out, Andy. Peace out, y'all.
Stay safe out there. Be kind, everybody.
Deuces.